So thank you guys for being here. I'm excited to do a little yoga myself. It's been a lot of togetherness for 3 weeks and all good. I mean, truly, they're a lovely family. It's been fabulous. But as we drove over 2,000 miles, um, you kind of want to get there, get to the destination. I kept asking Mike because Mike and Angelo sat in the front since they have, well, Mike was driving. Angelo's huge. He's like 6'5". And so he can't really sit in the back. Andy had to take 2 seats so he could put his legs up, but it was tight. Anyway, I kept tapping him. Are we there yet? Just to, remind him of the old days. And then I got to thinking about it and realized that I have this plaque on my wall that I gave to Mike several years ago, and it says, "Life is a journey, enjoy the ride." And it has a bike on it, but it can it can relate to any part of what you're doing. You may as well enjoy the process of getting there, and look for the beauty that's always outside the window. It truly was on this trip. So think about that and close your eyes and take some long, slow, deep breaths. And just follow the journey of your breath as it moves in and out. As we embark on this yoga journey this morning, truly appreciate your physical body. Just notice all the different parts, how they're feeling, how you feel emotionally. Please bring hands to heart center. May we all remember to enjoy every bit of every day. Appreciate the journey. Notice the beauty and the grace of every experience. Please lower your hands, open your eyes. Go ahead and start in child's pose. Okay. Oh, Jade's on. Hey, Jade. Okay. And in child's pose, just go ahead and stretch your arms out long. And maybe lift your arms up, come up on fingertips. And notice your breath in your belly in this position. And then just walk your fingers to the right. Feel a nice stretch in the left side body. And walk them to the left. And come on back to center and ground the hands down and just push on up to all fours. And as you know, I just got back from Yellowstone. We saw lots of critters there. So pretend like you're critter of your choice and just kind of move in any way that you think works to stretch out a little bit. I'm going to do a big circle. You can do cat cow. You can incorporate several things. You can lift one paw at a time if you want. Just kind of stretch it out. Kind of remind yourself of moves that animals make. We saw lots and lots of buffalo. We saw elk. We saw a grizzly bear, if you can believe that. We saw a black bear. We saw a moose. We saw a coyote. We did not see wolves. That's the only thing that I was really wanting to see that we didn't see. What else? Oh, mountain goats on the side of a mountain. It was incredible. And then bighorn sheep. Lots of those on a mountain. It was so cool. Oh, there's Artie. I heard her. Good. Come to a flat back. Extend your right leg. She thinks you guys are all safe, evidently. Point and flex your toe a few times. Check your core and add the left arm. And then bring the left hand down and the right knee down and switch left leg first. Just feel it. Feel like you're lifting from the center of your hamstrings. Draw your rib cage back. Add the right arm. You can point and flex the toes. You can move your wrist in a circle, whatever you need. Good, and then come on down. Now swivel your left foot to the left. Extend your right leg for that kind of side plank variation. And just kind of enjoy big open heart stretch. I'm feeling lots of cracks and creaks. Good, and come on down and switch. Right foot swivels, left leg extends. Open up. Lots of length. And come on down. And move the hands forward slightly, extend the right arm and thread it underneath for thread the needle. Just gonna spend a lot of time getting loose before we do any moves. And come on up and switch. Left arm slides underneath. And breathe. Good, and then unwind. Bring your hands forward a little bit more, curl your toes underneath, and come on up to your first downward facing dog. So bend the knees a lot to start and think, I want to just lift my sits bones up and back and then stretch into it. And then just kind of bring your feet a little bit wider and your hands a little wider. And pretend like you're a bear and just lift one paw at a time. Just go around the circle. You don't have to lift them far, just kind of explore a little bit, see where you're feeling like you're really stable. See if you can find more stability. And then walk your dog out. And with those feet nice and wide now, walk your hands back to your feet and come to a forward fold back there. And just check in there. You can sway forward and back. We actually saw the grizzly up on its hind legs. It was so cool. He was a long ways away though. It was a good thing we took a lot of binoculars because with 7 of us, we took 4 pairs of binoculars and a spotting scope. And so we'd all kind of look at him through the binoculars, and then Mike could get the spotting scope set up, and then we'd be able to kind of check him out even closer and slowly roll on up to standing. That nice wide stance. Stretch your arms up. Interlace the hands, press the palms up, and arc to your right. And back to center, and arc to your left. And back to center. Release your hands, interlace them behind you, but keep the side body nice and long. If you can reach. If you can't, it's no big deal. Draw your rib cage back a little bit and fold forward again. Allow the arms to come over top if that works for you. If not, it's okay. Guess you're her person today. Donna's Artie's favorite so far. Good, and release your hands, walk back out to downward facing dog. And come on down to all fours. And if you're using blocks, I forgot to grab mine. You can put them under your hands and step your right foot up. And just take a moment to hug to the midline and bring your hands to the front knee. Maybe extend your arms. And please touch down. Slide your hips back, straighten your right leg. You can use your blocks here. Stretch out your hamstring a little bit more. So draw the leg into the socket. I always have to check and see if I have all parts of my foot activated too, because then I know that my leg will be. And then possibly stretch long through the toes. And bend back into the front knee. Lift the back knee now. Lift the heel super high, stretch out the toes. And lower. One more time, lift it high. If you're using blocks, this will be possible. Straighten the right leg for pyramid pose and fold over that. Few breaths there. Try and hug the feet towards each other so you have lots of muscle energy. Little baby bend in the front knee. Good. And bend back into the right knee. Step the left foot forward and switch. So right foot steps back, lower the knee first. Hug to the midline, hands to the front knee. Stretch out your hip flexor. She's really loving you. She making you itchy. Oh. Maybe stretch your arms. Feel lengthen your spine. And please touch down, slide the hips back, straighten the left leg, draw it into the socket. Oh, so stiff. And, you know, I noticed when I was in the car a lot that, you know, if I got out and stretched, that it was bearable. Stretch your toes if you want. But nobody else had that. They kept saying, oh, I'm so stiff. It's like, well, here, do this stretch. Then back into the front knee. Lift the back knee. Just enjoy a moment there. Lift the heel super high. Stretch into it a few times. And then straighten the left leg. Lift the back heel high for that pyramid pose. And just take a few moments to think. Hug feet. Lengthen spine. Let it be a nice, safe stretch. Good. Bend back into the front knee. Step forward, forward fold. Inhale, pranam. And do that 2 more times. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. One more time. And this time, inhale, sweep all the way up. Stretch up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Now standing on your right foot, lift your left knee. Check your balance. I'm really off balance. Use your core. Good. And release. Switch sides. You see animals do this all the time, especially the birds. We did see a lot of birds. Good. Release. Good. Now stand on your right foot again. Bring the left foot behind you for a little quad stretch. If you can find the foot, great. Lengthen up. Finger rib cage back. Hip creases back. Knee beside knee. Oh, that feels really good. Release. Switch sides. Good. And release. One more time. Right foot. Lift the left knee. And then bring it off to the side. Lengthen up. Just kind of, you can make a little circle there with the knee if you can stay balanced. Interesting. Good. Switch. Bring it forward first. Find your balance, then widen it. So you're hugging your outer hip in, and then see about making a little circle. Sorry, that was my noise making for out of balance. Good, and release. Good. Come to the front of your mat. So you can use your blocks here if you want to. Inhale, stretch up. We're just going to do a little bit of a flow. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. Step your left foot back first to deep lunge. Lower the back knee. And stretch up on the inhale to Anjane Asana. Draw the right hip crease back, lengthen up. Good, bring hands to heart center. Draw the rib cage back again, maybe even back out a little bit. Twist to your right, bring your left elbow to your knee. And breathe. So nothing changes in the low body. You're just feeling a nice little squeeze in your midsection. Good. If you want to, lift the back knee. Keep that right hip crease drawn back. Helps unwind. Touch down. Step back to down dog without your blocks. If you're on the blocks, move them to the side. And appreciate your breath here. And then on the next inhale, come forward to plank. And see if you can stay in plank for a few more breaths. Maybe even moving forward and back a little bit just to kind of see, maybe lifting one paw at a time in plank. Keep monitoring your breath. Good, and then lower to the mat. Stretch your feet long, and 3 times I'm going to have you lengthen to cobra and lift in the inhale. Exhale, lower. 2 more times. This last time, stay up for a few breaths. Maybe turn and look to your right and your left a little bit. Stretch everything out, just lengthening your spine the whole time. And then lower down. Push back to all fours, curl your toes under, and see about sitting back on your heels here. Inhale, stretch your arms up. If you're all the way up. If you're not, no worries. Good. Come back down. This time, stretch your toes long. And again, sit back on the heels. See how that feels. On your next inhale, stretch up. If you're able to put your weight on the heels. Press all 10 toes down. And then please come on back to downward facing dog. And step your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, let's do that, but on the other side. So inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot steps back, deep lunge. Lower the back knee on the exhale. Inhale, stretch up, Anjaneyasana. See how stable you feel in the lower body so that you can extend out of it. One more breath. And on the exhale, bring hands to heart center. Might have to back off a little bit so you can bring into that twist, elbow to knee. Hug the left hip crease back. If you're feeling stable, lift the back knee. And then on your inhale, unwind and touch down. Step back, down dog without the blocks. On your inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Curl your toes, push back, downward facing dog. Check out each part of your hand. What would your hand print look like? I bought a book for Connor that was entitled Who Pooped in the Woods? And it showed all the different kinds of scat for each type of animal in the park, but it also showed their footprint, or paw prints, I should say. So think about what your paw print would look like. Would you have it even on each hand at this point? And then step forward to a forward fold and ask yourself, what would my footprint look like if I were walking in mud? Am I more in my ball of the foot, more in the heel? Good. Bend your knees, bring your hands on your knees, and come upright to a squat, or not a squat, but a chair position. And bring hands to heart center. Try and keep the lower body just as engaged and twist to your right. Don't let the left knee come forward. Good. And then come back to center. Twist to your left. And come back to center. Sit a little deeper if you can. Lift a little longer through your spine. And then press into your feet. Make those footprints and stretch up. Stretch your arms up. And on an exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Good. Now, I'm going to have you turn towards each other and take a wide stance. Artie's back to you. And stretch your arms up. Good. Now bring your arms. So I want you to feel your low body and just stretch your spine long up out of that. And then keep that, but bring your arms to a T. Good. Now go ahead and turn your front foot towards me Just real and bend into the front knee. Warrior two. See if you can still feel that back foot making the footprint that you want. And the front foot as well. Do you have more weight in the heel, or can you make it an even print? Warrior two. Good. A little reverse. So back hand down, front hand up. See what you feel. And come back to center. Bring elbow to knee. Parsva Konasana. Just go slow. You can bring the arm by the ear if you want. You can go to the block or to the floor if you're feeling it, and you can keep that spine nice and long. Beautiful, you guys. Yes, Artie. Our guests are gone, aren't they? One more breath. And come on back up, warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Turn your front foot forward and stretch your arms up. I'm not going to give you a rest. We got to get an arm workout. You're ready for the other side. So stretch your arms to a T. Turn the back foot out. Bend into warrior two. Check your foot printage. Is it how you want it? Is your knee tracking straight? Try your low belly up. Good. Reverse it. Back hand down, front hand up. See if you're feeling a little looser in the side body. What changes in your footprint? When you do that, come back, warrior two. And then Parsva Konasana, elbow to knee. Just to start, arm by the ear. See if you have everything engaged. And then if you want to go deeper, you can. So we had 3 dogs here yesterday. Good. Come on back up, warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Turn that foot forward. And then slowly fold forward to Prasarita Padottanasana. So while we were gone, Quinn decided to go see some friends up at Wartburg. So she dropped her roommate's cat off here as well. So we had 2 dogs and 2 cats here. So Artie, I'm sure she was just a mess because I'm sure she didn't come out for any of those. Poor thing. Come up like a pranam here. And everyone's going to be a little different. So bring your left hand to your hip and keeping the lower body the same, just twist a little bit to your left. Feel an inner thigh stretch. You don't have to twist very much to be feeling something. Keep your sits bones back. Keep your rib cage back. And then come on down and switch right hand to the hip. Check your footprints. You're making them even. You don't have to twist as much. Just keep everything even so you feel a nice stretch where it needs to be. Good. Come on back to center. Bend your knees slightly and come on up. Back up to standing. Stretch your arms up. Bring your arms to T. Turn the front foot forward again. Bend into the front knee, warrior two. Check your footprint. Straighten the front leg. Triangle pose. Take your time. Just kind of notice. You can start higher and then go lower if you want. Pretend like I'm pulling on your wrist and come on back up. Switch your feet. Then into warrior two. On your next inhale, straighten the front leg and begin a little journey into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Enjoy the journey part. Don't try and get so quickly to the end. And just realize that your end is perfect. It doesn't quite look like the pictures that you see. It's okay. Good. Come on back up. Stretch your arms up, turn the foot forward, and then dive into Prasarita one more time. Hopefully you can feel weight in all parts of your foot. If you don't, it's always helpful to bend the knees a little bit. Make sure the knees and the toes point the same direction though. And then heel, toe, step your feet towards each other. You're in a forward fold. And then make your way to your own deep squat. If you need to widen the feet and lift the heels, great. If not, come on down. Feel, even here, I try and press my big toe mound down. Feels better for my knee. Good, and then come on down to your back side. And you guys can stay, actually, I don't know why I turned. Stay that way and scooch back and take a wide stance. An inner spiral. And if you want to sit on your blanket, you can. I feel like I got myself stretched out enough. I don't need it right now. Oh, years and years, yes, and covered with hair. Good. So press the heels down, put a little baby bend in your knees, lengthen your spine, and maybe fold. You just did this standing, but sometimes with all parts touching the floor, it feels a lot different. Upavista Konasana. And then back out enough that you can walk your hands towards your right leg. I just want you to get in the habit of keeping everything stable in the low body as you experience a twist on your upper body. So your belly's facing. If you want to, you can grab the outside of your shin, ankle, foot. As you breathe, see if the muscles, you can kind of feel the journey of the muscles to be a bit longer. They don't grab as much. Good. And then walk back to center. Notice if anything's changed, and then walk towards your hands towards your left leg. Just pause there and just see how it feels. Does your low body feel kind of the same? You can find the outside of your left shin, ankle, or foot if you want. With your right hand, I should say. Good. And then come on back to center again. See if it doesn't feel a little bit easier in this Upavista position now. And come on back up. Oof. Bring your feet in and actually shift so your feet are towards the front of the mat. And scooch forward a little bit so that when you lay down, which I'm going to have you do right now, your head's still on the mat. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open to Supta Baddha Konasana, cobbler's, laying down cobbler's pose. I'm just going to turn these lights down. Let's see if that's still, yeah, that's better. Still light enough. Hopefully you guys can still see me. Again, notice your breath. And then bring your knees together and hug them into your chest. Maybe you'll feel a little bit of a lengthening happening in your low back. So when you do this position, sometimes it'll stretch that out. Now hold just your right knee and bring your left foot to the mat and see if maybe you need to back off a little bit with your right knee to get that, keep the length, but get a little curve in the low back. And then see, maybe you can extend the left leg to the ground. And then interlace behind the right thigh. Press the right thigh into your hands until your arms are full length, and then straighten the right leg. Keep the left leg super engaged too. So you feel like the hips are square to the front. With that big paw extending up in the air, just make a big circle, stretch out the ankle. And then bending the left knee, bend the right knee and bring the right ankle across the left thigh. Check in with your hips, see if anything shifted, really active in the right foot. And then if you want more stretch, you can lift the left foot, interlace behind the left thigh. Ooh, wow, that's tight. And then lay your head and chest back down. And just take a lot of breath. Send a lot of breath to your right hip. And then release the left foot to the ground again. Bring your arms to cactus. And then let both, so you're gonna roll your left knee to the and left and right foot to the left side. The lying down twist. Your toes should point kind of 180 degrees from your core, hopefully. And you want the knee to face mostly up. Draw your low belly up though. Keep the curve in the low back. Turn your gaze to the right. And then come on back up. Remove the ankle from the thigh, hug both knees in again. Re-straighten or re-lengthen the low back. I always have to roll around a little bit to really feel like I'm lengthening it. And then holding the left knee, bring the right foot down. Allow the curve to come back in the low back. And maybe straighten the leg to the ground, the right leg. Interlace behind that left thigh. Press as you straighten the leg till your arms are full length. And just kind of move your ankle around your big paw. If you can spread your toes so that each toe would make a nice print for you. Good. Rebending the right knee. Bring the ankle across. Just pause there. I think the low body is going to stay in the same configuration. As I lift the right foot, maybe I can interlace behind the thigh. And just get a good ankle stretch, good hip stretch in that left hip. That's what I'm after here. Will loves Uncle Will. I mean, Connor loves Uncle Will. They're making funny noises for those of you at home. Good. And release that foot to the floor. Arms in cactus. And let the whole configuration roll to the right side this time. And come on back up. Unwind. Lift your shins to parallel to the floor. Bring your hands to the middle of the thigh. Flex the feet. Draw the rib cage back, but keep the curve. And then press the thighs away and up a little bit to get a little abdominal bracing going. And not so much that you can't breathe. Just feel a little bit of work and lengthening. Good. And relax. Hug the knees in. And roll up to seated. I know you guys thought you were down for the count, but not quite. Hands behind the thighs, lean back, lift the shins, pose. You can release them, you can straighten the legs. Just see how it feels. Hopefully you feel really strong after all that. Bring both hands to the right side. Lengthen up through the top of the head. Bring them over to the left side. Lengthen. Come back to center. And slowly roll down to lane. And go ahead and transition for Shavasana. And allow Shavasana to be a journey. So sometimes it's hard to relax everything. So just take a journey through your body, just checking for any tension and releasing it. It's always a good idea to have your breath along for the journey. And when you feel like you've relaxed everything, just take that journey one more time. Really noticing where your body feels good, where it feels tight, where you can relax a little more. And as you continue, go deeper and deeper into relaxation, I just wanted to give you some words from Marianne Williamson on the meaning of life. When we were born, we were programmed perfectly. We had a natural tendency to focus on love. Our imaginations were creative and flourishing, and we knew how to use them. We were connected to a world much richer than the one we connect to now, a world full of enchantment and a sense of the miraculous. So what happened? Why is it that we reached a certain age, looked around, and the enchantment was gone? Because we were taught to focus elsewhere. We were taught to think unnaturally. We were taught a very bad philosophy, a way of looking at the world that contradicts who we are. We were taught that we're separate from others, that we have to compare to get ahead, that we're not quite good enough the way we are. We were taught to see the world the way that others had come to see it. It's as though, as soon as we got here, we were given a sleeping pill. The thinking of the world, which is not based on love, began pounding in our ears. Love is what we were born with. Fear is what we have learned here. The spiritual journey is the relinquishment or unlearning of fear and the acceptance of love back into our hearts. Love is the essential existential fact. To be consciously aware of it, to experience love in ourselves and others, is the meaning and the purpose of our lives. In other words, appreciating the whole journey. And begin to journey back to the present. To your physical form. Use your breath to start to feel the body again, moving in small ways. And drawing the knees in when you're ready. Just take your time. Push on up to seated when you're ready. Bring hands to heart center. I appreciate each of you so much. Bow to that light in you. Namaste.